let's take on what can be automated and what can be overseen by a human. Jason, I know you said everything can be automated, or we should work towards that goal. And I'm curious, is that what you currently try to do, or is that something that you see as a goal for the future?
No, I clearly see it as a goal for the future. I do think it's people process technology, like an old phrase that will never go away, right? You know, RPA is a very complicated process, right? We've operationalized it. We have human beings behind that, right? Because I don't think that you cannot just do this with automation alone. So I think like I said, I use the word continuum. It's a best practice. How do we create the best practice to order? How do we create the best practice for inventory? How do we do that? And that is kind of taking what I call a next generation managed service, right? That is putting automation at the front, right? With people behind it, as opposed to the opposite, people up front with some automation behind it. So I would propose, you know, changing the perception, right, of what's out there today, and creating a digital managed service, right, a next generation managed service that really will never, the people will go away, but the people will be there doing higher level functions, right, and everything we could automate, and every new challenge we come up against, we could automate it. And what Richard said with Jason, it's a journey, right? This isn't, you know, we're just going to start and wave our magic wand and it's going to work. But I think that it takes a different mindset where you're putting the technology first and then the people to back that up, and use the expert workers, right, to do it, because you can't have one without the other. And I've learned that the hard way, right? We're going through the trenches and building this. But the end result is just a much better process in this technology expense management industry. We've been in a long time. It's really been a people first industry. You know, I believe we're ready now, and timing is everything, to make it a technology first industry with people behind it. And there's just an amazing opportunity for globalization and centralization, and finally giving the enterprise what they've been asking for 20 years.
Yeah, and I know you're JC. I know you're trying to create a productive and automated environment, but what do you see as being necessary from an oversight perspective and approval perspective, governance perspective, that still requires some level of human interaction?
Well, first, you know, it's still the human that determines the prioritization of these steps. Jason was talking about a journey. Yeah, there are countless number of vendors out there with whom our clients interact that we need to integrate. So we have to be pragmatic about it and prioritize, you know, the 80-20 rule. Which carriers are we seeing with the majority of our clients? Well, then let's just focus on those first, because all the others may be unique occurrences, right? So we have to focus on that, and that's still determined by the strategy and the logic. Yeah, it's an interesting balancing act between the technology and then the human worker behind, feeding the tool and yeah, building the intelligence in the tool.
Mm-hmm.